to 10 and Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and the Tide 100.9 app.
Crimson Tide Today is presented by Tuscaloosa, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, and Pearl River Resort.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, a true Southern flavor since 1947, and the official smoked sausage of the Crimson Tide. Visit online at ConecuhSausage.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Head coach Nick Saban shared thoughts on the play of quarterback Bryce Young so far this season.
Bryce is a really competitive guy who really works hard, and, he wants to get it right. He's always works hard at preparing the right way. Pretty consistent performer in practice each and every day. Uses every opportunity to try to get better. So never been disappointed in the way he played from the first game, right up until now. But he has improved, and I think his confidence and experience and playing with the new players that we have on offense, all those things have contributed to that development.
I'll have more in a moment.
Conecuh Sausage is a true Southern flavor since 1947. Using the finest ingredients, Conecuh Sausage has a tradition of making great-tasting hickory smoked sausage for over 70 years. Visit their new gift shop in Evergreen, Alabama, or shop online at ConecuhSausage.com. Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Crimson Tide.
Alabama's Ryan White has been named to the United States 2021 FINA World Championship Swimming Squad, while Associate Head Coach Ozzie Quevedo has been named to Team USA staff as an assistant coach. White is coming off a very successful summer, including a silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics, and she will swim the backstroke events at the World Short Course Championships, which will be held in Abu Dhabi December 16th through the 21st. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Conecuh Sausage. Crimson Tide Today.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown. That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. F-15 dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. Oh, rundown. You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. Elusive and will not be caught. Touchdown straight. Alabama back on top. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown. Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
The 0-2. Left side, Swanson to first. The Browns are world champions. At 10:23 Central Time, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, the Atlanta Braves have officially overcome all obstacles that were put in front of them. And they are world champions, winning it in 6 and delivering Atlanta their second championship.
Hey, did you? You joined us. Oh, no. Hey, this is going to be quick, fellas. I've been thinking about this.
Oh, my God. Wow, you're sensitive.
You know what? The simplest thing I think I could put this, you know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.
All right, welcome in, and the Atlanta Braves 7-0 last night, and what a great game, great matchup and series for the Braves, and first time they've been world champions since 1995, and they dominated the Astros last night to win that World Series, and unbelievable game. We'll get into it. We'll break it down. Let me remind you, we were presented by Topgolf of Birmingham. Get out to Topgolf. You'll absolutely love it. We call it the bowling of this generation. Mark Grenier, all the great folks there. They've got a great restaurant. They're great drinks, great fun for friends, family, coworkers, and even for charitable events and all types of activities like birthdays, bachelorette parties, and all types of charity events they do out there each and every week. Go see Mark Grenier and all the great folks there at Topgolf of Birmingham. We're driven by Sunny King Ford on the sunny side, right there in Oxford, Anniston, and to go see Tony Russell and all the great folks there at Sunny King Ford. All right, a lot to get into. We got Gary Danielson that's going to join us from CBS. He'll join us at the bottom of this first hour at 12:30, so stay tuned for that and get his thoughts on not only the Alabama Crimson Tide, his thoughts around the SEC, and the CFP 4 comes out last night, and we'll talk about that and get into more of that here coming up in just a few minutes. But Matt, I'll start with you. Being a huge Braves fan, I got to go with you at AVX and kind of get your reaction to last night and just the way the Braves won.
Well, they jumped out in front, and unlike the most previous game, they held on to it, and then, in fact, they added to it. Fried was outstanding. Soler with the bomb. They're still looking for that ball. Actually, they're not, and there is an unbelievable story about that baseball we'll share with you later here on the Jay Barker Show. But real quick, there's only one thing in my life that would keep me from watching that baseball game, and it's grandchildren. So I was actually at Logan's Little League football game, and it ended, and I bolted to the car with my granddaughter. I turned it on. There's a drive way back. It's over the railroad tracks. 446 feet. My granddaughter was in the car, and Josh, I just sent you a picture of her reaction. I think it was her reaction to me. But anyway, I could go into great detail of how I spent the evening, went home, watched the game with Karen. We loved it. And here's a real difference, guys, in my age. Normally, I would have cracked the seal on a bottle of Basil Hayden, maybe even champagne. Karen baked some cookies, and we had milk and went to bed. And I am not kidding, but that's how it went. And you guys both have been exposed to my absolute passion about the Atlanta Braves, and I make no bones about it. Yeah, I welled up a couple of times. I'm about to do it again.
That's interesting that you heard it on the radio. I did too. I was driving back from Tuscaloosa after my day of teaching down at Alabama. And, you know, I grew up listening to games on the radio. And to me, it's just it's a whole different sensory experience because you imagine it in your mind, and it's almost more powerful. And I love listening to both baseball and football games on the radio. And, you know, that's why so many Alabama fans listen to Eli Gold as they are watching games either in the stadium or at home. But before we go to you, Jay, Matt, just so tell me, because I haven't experienced this in a long time, where one of my teams actually wins a championship. Today, the day after, people who are skeptical about sports will say, is your life appreciably better today than it was yesterday before they won the championship? Are your relationships better? Is your financial situation better? And the answer, of course, is no. But just try to articulate how special it is when your team that you've supported, I won't say for how long,
since 66, since they moved there.
Yeah, for a very long time. Just explain how special and enriching it is to your life for them to win the World Series title.
I don't wake up in a bad mood. It usually takes me about 30 minutes, and then I'm in a great mood. But I woke up with a lot of hitch in my giddy up this morning. It just, and it's especially gratifying when you have seen your team at its absolute lowest, which I did with the Braves in the 80s, and they were just horrible. And that win in 95, to me, that was even more impactful than last night. But when you watch the team, every opportunity, you listen to them on the radio, you see their struggles, and then you suddenly see a magic light bulb go on in their head. I think it was August 3rd, after Alex Anthopoulos had made these brilliant trades. And then you watch them come back, past the Phillies, hold off the Mets, and then go on and win it in an unlikely situation. They'd won fewer games than anybody in the playoffs. They only won 88. But then they got into the playoffs. These acquisitions started lighting it up. Max Fried, Charlie Morton, who unfortunately got injured. And to just watch them, if you're keeping up day to day, Lars, I think it makes it even more special. If you're just like a resident of Atlanta and you like the Braves, and then suddenly you're catching lightning in a bottle as they get into the postseason, I know that means a lot to them. But if you follow that team, it's I think it was Snitker that hit every possible pothole during the season. And then last night they're popping champagne corks. Yeah, it's very special. Jay, I think you could probably relate in winning a national championship.
Oh, definitely. And, one of the things that was said, after the game is that, guys, you're now world champions and you'll always be world champions. Nobody could take that away from you. And that's something that's very special and very, anytime you're a part of a championship team, it is a fraternity of just, it's one team per year. And, Coach Saban's had a bunch since he's been at Alabama 6. But that fraternity of guys, even at our university, but even across the country, when you run into other guys who have been through that, who've won a national title, what that means, what it took as far as a team, the chemistry and all the things that had to happen throughout the year for you to have a perfect season and to be able to be a champion and, to be able to pull off something like that together. It's an unbelievable memory and it's really a bonding, I think, between the players and coaches and all the people that were involved in that championship season. So that's something I know the Atlanta Braves will take with them. And it's been a while. I mean, it's just, we talked about 1995 since they won the world championship. So I know the Atlanta area was celebrating. I'll be honest, I think the South is celebrating a lot because there's a lot of Atlanta Braves fans that I've even seen up here in Nashville having their Atlanta Braves flags flying now, and everybody's got Atlanta T-shirts and hats on. And I think you look at just the impact of sports with Tampa Bay winning the World Series. I mean, winning the NFL championship, the Super Bowl, them winning the World Series. Just kind of what's going on in the South and some of the sports teams and stuff that we've seen, and even with Houston being in it as well, being in Texas. So really, really a great moment for them last night, and seeing a lot of the guys having a chance to celebrate. And again, Matt, it will be a lifelong memory that they'll never forget. All right, the CFP also came out, college football rankings for week 9, and Georgia sitting at number 1, Alabama sitting at number 2, Michigan State at 3. You got Oregon at 4. That's your top 4 right now. Ohio State sitting outside at number 5, Cincinnati number 6, Michigan 7. 8 is Oklahoma, Wake Forest is 9, and Notre Dame is number 10. Auburn sits at number 13, and other SEC schools, Texas A&M at 14. Ole Miss is at number 16. Mississippi State at number 17. 18 is Kentucky, and also, that's it as far as the SEC teams. But the top 4 again: Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State, and Oregon. We'll break it down for you more coming up on the other side. And don't forget, Gary Danielson, CBS, is going to join us at the bottom of the hour at 12:30. Local Realty, Jeremy and Gina Miller do a terrific job. Great family. You absolutely love working with them. You've heard me talk about their team and what they do when it comes to helping you not only sell your home, but make the most out of the sale. On the sales side, they charge a flat fee. $2,900 flat fee. That's it. Up to a $500,000 listing. And Local Realty wants that to be your equity that you saved, that is going to go back in your pocket when you sell your home. Let them do that for you. Let them help you sell, and as well help you save thousands of dollars when it comes to selling your home. That's localrealtyflatfee.com. Localrealtyflatfee.com for more information on Local Realty. All right, stay with us. We'll run back through the CFP rankings, week number 9, and the top 4, and through the top 10 as well, and some of the other SEC teams on the other side. Stay with us. We're live from AVX, Audio Video Excellence.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
You're ready to get out and get moving. And whether it's surfing, playing tennis, or hiking every path you can find, you're going to need some essential new gear. Essentials that are even more rewarding with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card. You can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. The essentials have never felt more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Want to learn a new language so it will actually stick? Try Babbel. Practice real-life conversations in the Babbel app.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Get personalized help in Babbel's live online classes.
Classes are limited to 6 people, so everyone can get the help they need.
Review words and phrases with fun games, or dive into the culture with short videos. Whatever your learning style, Babbel gives you the tools you need. Babbel, more ways to learn. Now try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
With Taco Casa, it's not really fast food because it's made fresh every day in the store. The quality hasn't changed. The consistency hasn't changed because we haven't changed anything in the food. It's made fresh every morning in every restaurant. I think buzzwords in today's food industry are locally sourced and high quality ingredients. We want to say, that sounds great. We've been doing that since 1974.
Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got some squeaky wipers? Sounds like it's time for a new set. We've got deals to help you get the job done and get ready for rainy fall weather. Right now, you can get a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Silicone Advantage wipers. And we've even got more ways to shop, like our free same-day store pickup and next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
The original stuffed crust from Pizza Hut is so cheesy you'll want to eat it backwards. But what if we played this song backwards?
One topping, just $12.99.
No one out-pizzas the Hut. Ask for a limited time offer. Not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge for more toppings and extra cheese.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code WIN for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code WIN for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WIN.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Much colder today, mostly cloudy with a chance of some scattered light rain this afternoon and tonight. The high today 54, tonight's low 42. Tomorrow maybe a little light rain during the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 54 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
I don't know if I share complete befuddlement. I'll tell you the thing that surprised me the most, Scott, was that Alabama at number 2. Now, I don't want to dwell on that because it really is going to work itself out. If they win the rest of their games, they're in. If they lose one to Georgia or before, they're not going. So that's not as big a deal. That part surprised me. But they were consistent in this regard. You go through the rankings, and I don't think I've overlooked one, but head-to-head carried the day. And maybe it was just one spot, but in virtually throughout the top 25.
But it's interesting. You think Bama, if they get to Atlanta and they were to lose, if it's you got 1-2, if it's close, I feel like you said even a 2. You think 2-loss Alabama will be excluded from the 4?
I think so. I don't think they can make it with 2 losses unless, and we've seen a lot of this year, Scott. If everybody starts losing around them, then maybe there'll be something different. But it would surprise me very much if a 2-loss Alabama makes it. I think they have to win the rest of their games to make it. So that's why I'm not too up in arms about where they're ranked right now.
Fair enough. And I feel like some of it's clever. Look, you can put Michigan State at 3 off that big win over Michigan because you know that they have to play Ohio State, which becomes, in a sense, an eliminator of sorts, I suppose. But I'm interested in what do you make of the comment that Ohio State doesn't have a signature win, yet they're ahead of Cincinnati?
I think probably their overall strength of schedule is better. I have Cincinnati ranked ahead of them in my AP ballot. In fact, I have Cincinnati number 2. But I think that's part of it and part of it is the way Cincinnati has looked the last 2 weeks. Cincinnati must look the part. And they have not looked the part in the last 2 weeks. And I think it's also not a good omen for them that the 2 primary challengers in their conference aren't ranked right now. And so I would agree with you that could be a little bit confusing that Ohio State doesn't have a signature win. But, I do think that, Cincinnati, the thing that's working against them is that they just haven't looked the part the last 2 games.
All right, welcome back in. And that was Reese Davis on the Scott Van Pelt Show talking about the top 4 teams right now in the country. The football, college football rankings came out week 9 for the CFP. And Georgia at number 1 again, Alabama at 2, Michigan State at 3, Oregon at number 4. That's 2 7-1 teams at number 2 and number 4, Alabama and Oregon. Also, Ohio State, 1-loss team as well at number 5, Cincinnati 8-0 at number 6, Michigan 7-1. At number 7, Oklahoma's at 8 with a 9-0 record, and Wake Forest with 8-0 record is at number 9. Notre Dame rounds out the top 10 at 7-1. The Auburn Tigers are at 13 with a record of 6-2. Lars, your thoughts about the top 4 teams right now, the CFP Week 9?
The big winner is Alabama, no question about it, and it's going to fuel more talk about SEC bias. Because now Alabama at number 2, it puts them in a position to make history because it's not necessarily inconceivable that if Alabama wins out and then lose it and has an impressive win over Auburn at Jordan-Hare, it's not inconceivable if Alabama wins out and then loses a close game to Georgia in the SEC title game, Bama could become the first 2-loss team to reach college football playoffs. Now, that'll take some action behind them, and you have to see sort of how everything plays out. But Alabama is the big winner. And, people who are not Alabama fans just took to Twitter and social media last night and saying, well, I guess losses don't mean anything if you're Alabama. The fact that they lost, they were, a 2-touchdown favorite. And Texas A&M at the time wasn't ranked. They had lost their last 2 games, barely beat a horrible Colorado team. But the biggest loser, obviously, is Cincinnati. There's a yawning gap between being ranked number 2 in the AP poll and then ranked number 6 in the playoff rankings. That means, Cincinnati's done. They're cooked because they really don't play anybody the rest of the way. They got, I think, SMU, and then they possibly could play Houston in the championship game there for the AAC. But the committee basically said, Cincinnati, sayonara, you're not going to be in the playoffs. So the biggest winner, Alabama. Biggest loser, Cincinnati. Matt, your reaction?
First thing is, outside of the top 4, is that the highest ranked team with 2 losses is Auburn. The second highest is A&M. And by the way, they're playing this weekend. So I just thought that was interesting. I also thought where they overranked Alabama. I know they get killed on that.
I definitely think they overranked Alabama.
What I don't. I guess
I said that I put Michigan State at 2. I mean, do losses count? I don't understand this. Do losses not count?
The wins not count, even if it's barely over Kansas and over Tulane. Oklahoma is undefeated at 8.
What's Alabama's best win?
Ole Miss.
Where's Ole Miss? And what's Michigan
15,
State?
16,
What's Michigan State's best win? Against number 6 Michigan.
Yep.
I don't understand why Michigan State is behind Alabama. I would have had Michigan, and I said this yesterday, I would have had Michigan State at number 2. I mean, and I know this is just, look, all this does, Jay, these rankings are generated to simply have us talking about them. They mean nothing at this point. I mean, absolutely nothing, because it's just a snapshot in time. And look, I think Ohio State is going to beat Michigan State. I think Ohio State is going to win the Big Ten championship. They're going to be in. There's no way that Oregon ultimately is going to be in. Oklahoma is going to rise up. But you got to feel horrible for Luke Fickell and Cincinnati, Jay. They've done everything asked of them. They beat Notre Dame on the road. No matter what, it is not an easy place to go into South Bend and win on the road. And I think what the committee is saying is that they're not going to have a Power 5 team in the playoffs. Jay?
Yeah, it looks, and I brought this up before. I mean, I want the two layers, right? The two kind of different leagues, 64 teams in the Power 5, and then your group of 5, 64 teams. Let each group play for their own championship. They could be great TV content, and they could be great competition in both levels, and gives them a shot because they're going to compete against the teams that are level with them as far as the competition. They've done all they can do. So, I mean, it's kind of like any team. You play your schedule. They beat Notre Dame. You know, Alabama beat Miami at the beginning of the year. Miami was ranked 14th at that time. 11 they played and beat Florida, who was number 11 at the time. Mississippi State was 12 at the time when they beat them. A&M did beat them 41-38. You know, so a 3-point loss on the road. And I don't know. To me, it's also a look test. Looking at the players on the field, offensively, defensively, I think, you know, Michigan State has had a great year so far. Mel Tucker's done a terrific job, especially in the transfer portal, what we've seen him be able to pull out of that. But his running back, you know, Walker has just had an unbelievable year. So, yeah, I mean, they're where they need to be in all these teams. I think Alabama may be getting some maybe legacy Saban, and probably the look test is getting them that number 2 spot, and that they only lost by 3 to Texas A&M. Go ahead.
Sorry, quick question for you. What do all 4 of these teams have in common? What 4 of these teams have in common? Nick
Saban.
All of the assistants. Nick Saban, yes. All the coaches on these teams coached under Nick Saban.
Good. Yeah, great point. All right, well, we'll continue on the other side, and we got Gary Danielson coming up, CBS Sports. Before we go, though, Rock and Roll Sushi, biggest hit in the restaurant business. Go check them out. They're down at 5th Avenue South, and right there, Richard Arrington Boulevard. That's the new location in Birmingham. Now, 5 locations in Birmingham, 50, I think 6, 57 throughout the Southeast. It is the biggest hit in the restaurant business. Started in Mobile, Alabama, 1,000 square foot modest space. And it's really an amplified dining experience with the rolls you love, with the music you love, rock and roll. and you do it all with the people that you love, your family, your friends, and all that just makes it that amplified dining experience you'll find only at Rock and Roll Sushi. Get out to Rock and Roll Sushi today for lunch or for dinner. You're going to absolutely love the biggest hit in the restaurant business. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. Gary Danielson coming up next. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
One in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on The Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.C.O.
continue live from AVX, Audio Video Excellence, and Matt Coulter and Lars Anderson. I'm Jay Barker. You're listening to the Jay Barker Show. Now on our YouTube channel, BamaInsider. Go there. Don't forget to subscribe and like what you're hearing us live every day there on YouTube. And get from noon to 2 p.m. Central Time and all throughout the network as well, throughout the state of Alabama and down on the Gulf Coast. And right now, it's a pleasure to welcome in one of the best in the business, CBS's Gary Danielson, and he adds color to the game every single weekend across the SEC. And Gary, always great to have you on the show. Thanks for being with us.
Hello.
And I cannot hear Gary on my end, so I may need one of you guys if you can hear him back in the studio.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, it's Lars Anderson here. Can you hear us?
Do you not get him either?
All right, Josh. We may need to. Hey, Gary, it's Lars
Can't
Anderson.
hear you guys.
Can you hear us?
Can't hear you guys.
Okay. Hey, Josh, you're gonna have to try to reconnect with Gary. Jay, as we try to get Gary on the line here, what was your your reaction just to Cincinnati being outside of the top four, being ranked number 6 by the playoff committee in these initial rankings?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that their thing is, their biggest win is what, Notre Dame and Indiana we've talked about before. So, they needed, I think, SMU to win last weekend, into the strength of schedule, where they've got them at number 6. I mean, there's still a shot. I mean, you got a lot of games left. We've seen how November can turn out sometimes. So we'll see what as far as what the November kind of holds for us, to see if there's going to be any upsets. And right now, it's just kind of getting in position and being a chance to be either inside the top 4, right outside, and knowing that there's some things that can happen in front of you that enable to get you in. I don't think Cincinnati even being at number 6 is that much of a disrespect. I really thought they might be in the top 4. I think I told you that on Monday for the first week. And then y'all were like, well, man, they're going to pull the carpet out from under them and back them out of the top 4 over time. So this is a chance for them to kind of climb up into the Final Four as the weeks go on. So we'll see Lars.
And Matt, your analysis of Cincinnati at number 6, is it fair?
No, it's not fair, but I didn't think they were going to get in anyway. Even though they were ranked 2 in like AP and coaches ball, I think they were just giving, they were throwing them some props when we all know that they're not going to be.
All right, we do now have Gary Danielson back with us. Gary, Lars Anderson, Matt Coulter, Jay Barker here with you. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing this afternoon?
Oh, I'm doing great. Looking forward to the game. And for whatever reason, I got to tell you guys, I've got about a 2-second blow back into my ear. This is not going to work like this.
Oh, he's got a 2-second delay. I totally understand that. May just have to tape a conversation and play it back tomorrow. Can't address the issues really live on the radio and streaming right now, but our apologies for the delay, Gary. I dealt with it all day Monday. Did 2 hours with it, and it'll strain your brain.
I think we lost Gary.
That's all behind the scenes.
Yeah. So again, just sort of focusing on the college football rankings that came out. Matt, were there any other surprises to you? Were you surprised that Michigan State was that high and Oklahoma that low?
No on Michigan State. In fact, I could have put them number 2 and been just fine with it. Yeah, I was. The most surprising thing may be, in spite of the fact they haven't looked like world beaters all season, the Sooners are still undefeated, and they're 8th, and they are in a Power 5 conference. So that surprised me. Another observation, and this should surprise no one, is of the top 18, 7. Yes, 7 are from the Southeastern Conference. And the top 2, I might add. 7. That's more than a third and almost half. You want me to jump into NASA?
That's doing some massive calculus there. That's impressive.
That's not calculus. That's just kind of fraction.
Oh, see, I don't even know the difference between calculus and addition and subtraction.
Yeah, but you lay some words on us sometimes and make me scrambling for the dictionary.
Okay,
one more time.
We're gonna try Gary one more time. Hey, Gary Danielson, do you have us now?
Jay, I do. I think this is Jay. We've used 2 of our timeouts, so we only got 1 left, for the first half.
Pretty funny.
How you doing, guys?
Fantastic.
Gary, we're doing great. And can you just give us your initial analysis of 2 things? 1, the college football rankings that came out last night, and then 2, your sort of big picture overview of the Alabama LSU game this weekend.
First of all, if you all have followed me in the past, I can tell you for sure I don't care. It really means nothing. It's good TV. But second phase of it is I think it's good news for Georgia. I think that having Alabama as number 2, where it was rated in the strength of the SEC, should Georgia lose to Alabama, and that should be an even game. We all know, when these teams at the top of the food chain play each other, they can beat each other. I think with Alabama being number 2, Georgia would not slip any further than 4. So I think the best news on the board is for Alabama. And then after that, I think would be Auburn and A&M, because with their schedules, Auburn still has a path to make it. It's a tough one. I don't know if they're good enough to do that, but that's not up to me. That's up to them. But I rather doubt that an SEC won't be represented in the championship. So they're still alive.
Gary, my name is Matt Coulter. I'm going to ask you a very, very quick question and show my age. Do you ever talk to Lem Barney? I used to pretend I was him running around the backyard.
Well, here's a funny one. So did I when I was a kid, and I ended up playing with him at the end of my career. So it was quite a thrill. He was the Lions don't have a lot of things that they brag about, but the number 20 is one of them. With Lem Barney, Billy Sims, and Barry Sanders, it's a pretty good number.
Okay. Sorry, that was very personal and selfish of me to do that, but I had the opportunity to ask,
I
did.
don't live in Michigan. I don't live in Michigan, so I used to see Lem all the time, but not much anymore.
Unbelievable corner and a great kick returner as well.
Absolutely.
How do you see Alabama and LSU, in spite of the fact that Alabama is an overwhelming favorite? Should they be, and is that going to pan out?
Yeah, this would be a monumental upset. This LSU team has a lot of good players. A few of them have been injured. A few of them are basically opting out. They decided to have surgery now so that they'd be healthy for the combine in the NFL. And they realize they're not a playoff team. So it'd be probably as big an upset that Alabama's had as long as I can remember. Probably. I even think back to 2000 and the South Carolina game that we did. That probably is the next biggest upset that they've had since Nick has been there, at least.
Gary, I want to go back 10 years to the 2011 LSU Alabama game in Tuscaloosa. I know you called that game 9-6. I think something like 53 guys went on to play in the NFL who were in that game. And I believe I wrote a story about this in Bleacher Report. I think now it's like over $600 million has been made just in salary alone from the guys who were on the field that night.
Before you get going, are you counting Vern and I? My salary to Vern and I in that?
I'm counting. Well, I'm counting your salaries. Yes, exactly.
That's 600 million to 100,000. And there we
are. Was that one of the most physical, if not the most physical games you've ever called in your career?
Absolutely. I have a couple. I did a Michigan-Ohio State game early in my career for the championship in Columbus. That was a battle, and it was a great football game. I think the Florida LSU game, Tebow's kind of breakout game, where I think in that game LSU went for it on 4th down 5 times less in that football game. There was a player that played for LSU, can't remember his name, a defensive end, said At about the three-quarter mark, he said, I didn't care who won the game. I just wasn't going to let the guy across from me out-muscle me in this game. And I think that typified it. And then I think the 9-6 game was elite athletes that nobody could give an inch all over the football field, and it was really a fun game to do.
Visiting with Gary Danielson of CBS. And Gary, I wanted to get your thoughts just on Ed Orgeron and all that's happened this year with LSU,
right,
and just a lot of distractions on and off the field, and players that have really kind of walked away from with the program or left it mentally or physically on the field. They've had a couple of big wins this year, but it's been a rough go for LSU and Ed Orgeron. Just your take on that. He's stepping down after the end of the year. Were you surprised by that decision?
Well, I guess really in the SEC and major sports, these jobs are highly coveted. They pay a lot of money, and the responsibilities and the expectations are through the roof. We all know it when we become a quarterback of one of these franchises, or in major college football or in the NFL, that you have to produce and continue to produce. And I think that's now the same for the head coaches on these elite football teams. Ed has been a little bit true to himself, he thought, with his personality, but he made some, really bad decisions after he won the championship. He was hot for a while. Hiring Bo Pelini didn't work out. And then even this year, he decided he wanted to be more like 2019. He went and hired 2 NFL assistants, and it did not fit his football team. He admitted that after, and I think the program got away from him a little bit. And when you make some of those self-inflicted decisions that don't work out, you ultimately have to pay the price. Now, Ed is going to be a valuable commodity as an assistant coach. He'll coach again, but I think the LSU job is a special job, and you're required to compete at a high level every year.
Gary, being a former quarterback yourself, what is your assessment and analysis of Bryce Young at Alabama in his first year as a starter for the Tide?
Well, we all know that Alabama's kind of changed the structure of their program. They always for years felt that they could get a quarterback that didn't have to be the center of attention. That position didn't have to carry the load by design. It was more out of the park. Belichick opinion of football, that you don't want to put all your marbles on your quarterback. You want to be well balanced and do a lot of things, and the quarterback is just part of the team. But I think as college football defensive rules have changed and made it much more easy for the offense to score a lot of points, Nick made some smart decisions and said we have to go at that position and turn it loose. And I thought a good indication was this year when they played against Ole Miss. I guess that was the game. I guess we did it even. I'm not sure. But he, after the game, said, we ran the ball a lot. And he said, but that's not who we want to be. And I think that was a message that he didn't want anybody out there using it against him in recruiting. That, what he wants to be is a quarterback as center of the offense. There's a lot of points to be had. And to recruit these great wide receivers and quarterbacks, you have to continue to stay wide open. And Bryce is now, the third or fourth in a row that has fit right in there, and kind of a new look for Alabama.
Gary, I want to ask you the traditional question. You get it everywhere. I want to ask Gary, how you handle the criticism. I mean, and Alabama fans tend to really try and beat you up. But I mean, it's never ending.
I'm not I got to be honest with you. I'm rarely ever asked, and I really am not even that much aware of it. Some people tell me, my kids sometimes say it, but I if you don't have a thick skin, you can't play quarterback in the NFL. And if there is, I don't know what the criticism is. I do my job. The people that hire me and have granted me the ability to go out there and do the job, which I love, and it's a great job, and it's a coveted job, and I take very seriously. They seem happy with my performance. My teammates seem happy with it. That's good enough for me. I have no, interesting. I've never had and all the SEC fans get a lot of rep for being, a little too critical or out of whack. In the 16 years I've done this, I've never had an SEC fan come up to my face and say anything rude. It's a great testament to them. They all are great, happy. They want their team to win. They may say, give us some love, but I've never had anybody be rude to me. And that's why I'm really happy to do the games, and I'm really aware of what a good job I have.
Gary, when you look at just the teams that you had a chance to watch this year in the SEC, and you get a great perspective of not just being a color analyst, but talking to the coaches, talking to people behind the scenes, what team has surprised you the most as far as the way that they played or where they are right now so far this time of the year, and as far as what you expected going into the season?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy. It's been Auburn. This changeover with Brian coming in there and kind of remaking this, from the type of offense, especially that this, Gus kind of featured, and what's Brian going in with Mike Bobo, who's done a fantastic job. When you watch, them play, you can see they've had talent and they've recruited talent, but, you can see flashes of what Bo Nix was throughout the game. But you also see that he keeps changing into what I want him to be slowly but surely. And now he's a very effective quarterback. He does all the magical things that he did in the past. He does the routine things much better. So I say from the year where they were, when they were struggling a little bit, they had Finley in the game. And I think where they are now, it showed a great discipline, a lot of want for the football team, a lot of toughness. And we'll see this weekend. It's going to be a tough battle against A&M. They're a little bit mirror images, the way they like to play tough football in the middle of the field. They like to run the ball. They depend on their offense and defensive lines. So this will be a really good matchup for Auburn.
Gary Danielson, thank you for your time. I really liked watching you as a child, and there were times I pretended that I was you in the backyard. So thank you very much for joining us, and I know you'll have a great broadcast.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Beans.
Okay.
All right, you're welcome. You're listening to the Jay Barker Show and the Jay Barker Radio Network, and we are streaming online as well. When we get back, man, there's some stories. Henry Ruggs, there's more information about that. Aaron Rodgers has COVID. Wow. All continuing on the Jay Barker Show.
You're listening to the Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code TOOL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TOOL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TOOL.
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray football forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday night at 11 following the high school scoreboard show on Tide 100.9. Brought to you by Randy Smalley, Floor and Tile.
Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Town Square comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. subscription. That's mylocalcustomers.com. Town Square not only can help you find more local customers online, they'll also help you grow your business to a new level. With premium website services that get you new leads every day and no contracts to sign, there's no better time to join. Not only that, Town Square also has a dedicated marketing specialist who will be with you every step of the way, making changes that will benefit you and especially your business. It's fast, easy, and you can cancel your subscription at any time. So hurry to mylocalcustomers.com and get your $500 in free advertising today.
Fall is a great time to get your home improvement projects done with the help of Banks and Company Hardware in Utah. They have a great selection of hardware, lumber, sheetrock, and home repair products. For yard work, they carry Husqvarna blowers, weed eaters, and chainsaws. If you're a hunter, Banks and Company Hardware has deer corn, moultrie feeders, deer scents, hunting clothes, jackets, boots, orange vests, and hats. Fall is a perfect time to shop Banks and Company Hardware. Open Monday through Saturday in downtown Utah.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect you to doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is. Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more at uhc.com. Plan benefits may vary.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Much colder today, mostly cloudy with a chance of some scattered light rain this afternoon and tonight. The high today 54, tonight's low 42. Tomorrow maybe a little light rain during the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 54 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Video excellence continues, and we got a short segment here real quick, and just want to remind you about the CFP rankings. Came out week 9. Georgia at 1, Alabama at 2, Michigan State at number 3. You got Oregon at number 4. Also, major headlines last night. I know Matt Coulter loved it as well. Atlanta Braves get it done. First time since 1995. World champions, 7-0. Absolutely dominated the Astros. We got the Aaron Rodgers, as you teased earlier, Matt. We'll get into that as far as COVID-19 testing positive, what that means this weekend. He'll be out facing the Chiefs. And also, we have not had a chance to yet get into as far as everything that's going on with this matchup in this game this weekend, and other things too that we've got. Henry Ruggs, the DUI. We got more to get into that as well, and what the implications that's going to mean for him, his career, and going forward. All right, stay with us. We're live from AVX. Hour number 2 coming up next.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker. And look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269.
Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamer. It's a New Orleans-style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the Cajun Steamer.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96th Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff, its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown. That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. Up 15, dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. Eludes the kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown, Drake. Alabama back on top. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13-0. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
Go ahead, Brian. You hold that.
So how does it feel to hold that trophy?
Oh, my gosh. It's been 26 years. The fans here are unbelievable. I got to thank SNIT, this team. They overcame unbelievable things to get here. Alex, you all know the story of Alex. An unbelievable decision-making mid-year. The fans are back in Atlanta dancing in the streets. We filled Truist Park
and they're going wild, and we can't wait to get back and celebrate with them. But I want to thank two angels that are up there tonight, made sure this happened. Hank Aaron and Phil Necro. Thank you, boys, for having us win this thing tonight. World champs. Well said. Thank you. Congrats. Okay, thanks. Let's go over to the manager, Brian Snicker. Brian, you are a Braves lifer. You started your career as a player in the organization. You were coaching in the minors the last time this team won a World Series. I can't even imagine what this feels like for you.
I'm numb. This is the greatest thing in the world. Braves country, we appreciate you and love you. We love all of y'all. Thank you for coming here and being a part of this with us, because we couldn't do it without you. And these guys up here, they love and appreciate you all also, man. It's just so, honey, we did it.
Oh, this is awesome. You know, when I think of this team, I think of resiliency. I mean, you lost one of your best players in the middle of the summer, and then you're trying to just get to 500, and then so many things comes down the last week of the regular season just to win the division. How did you do it?
No, these guys never gave up on themselves. We used a lot of guys. We lost a lot of pieces over the course of the summer, and it was just the next man up. I mean, it was these guys never stopped believing in themselves. They never stopped working. Our coaching staff, my God, I got a rock star coaching staff that made sure these guys stayed consistent every day, and they always played the game the way you're supposed to play it, and with a lot of emotion, and give themselves a chance to be here on this stage right now.
It's been 26 years. Obviously, you were in the organization. How does this feel? Organization-wide, you could speak to it.
No, it is. It takes a lot to make this happen, and I'm very proud of our organization, proud of this club, and there is nothing better. We're world champions.
Congrats, Brian.
Thank you.
Why don't we hear from Mr. Brave, Freddie Freeman? What do you guys think? Did you ever dream of a moment like this?
This is what you dream about. Every single year, we come into spring training wanting this to happen, and it happened this year.
Freddie, you know, you were a link. When you first came up, you had a couple playoff teams, and then you went through some rough years, and now you're on the top of the top. How did you do it, and what's most gratifying about this ride?
I think the most gratifying thing is this team, we hit every pothole, every bump you could possibly hit this year. Injuries, every single kind of thing that could have happened, that could go wrong, went wrong, and we overcame every single one of those things. This group, we came every single day, prepared and worked and worked and worked, and we ended up November 2nd, world champions.
What does this mean for the city of Atlanta?
I think it means everything. We've been waiting for a championship in this city for a long time, and I'm glad we delivered it.
Last thing, how cool is it that one day you get to tell your grandkids that not only did you win, but you hit a home run in the decisive game of the World Series?
That's pretty cool. I saw my family jumping up and down when I was rounding the bases, so I'm glad I was able to help.
Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen. Congrats, Freddie.
Words there from one Freddie Freeman, and again, they get it done last night. The Atlanta Braves win it 7-0 against the Astros, and the first time they've been world champions since 1995, as we brought throughout the week and throughout the series. But man, Freddie's been a huge part of this organization, and them winning a championship as well in this 2021 season. So man, amazing for the Braves last night. The ceremony at the end, I know we talked about Matt Coulter is a huge Braves fan, been that way since they got to Atlanta, and now they're able to celebrate another championship with the Braves banner there, and these guys will be world champions forever for this Atlanta Braves team. Georgia at number 1, Alabama at number 2, Michigan State is at number 3, Oregon is sitting at number 4. That is your top 4 of your college football rankings week 9. Ohio State is at 5, Cincinnati at 6, Michigan at 7, Oklahoma at 8, Wake Forest is at number 9, Notre Dame at 10, and then outside of that SEC, you got 13 Auburn at 14, Texas A&M, Ole Miss is at 16, Mississippi State is at 17, Kentucky is at number 18 when it comes to the SEC, the top 25 college football rankings week 9. So a lot to get into that, and more that we're going to get into as far as some of the Henry Ruggs stuff that we have not had a chance to talk about or discuss. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on that and much more. Aaron Rodgers, COVID-19 test positive, so he'll be out against the Chiefs coming up this weekend. We are presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. Get out to see Mark Grenier, all the great folks at Top Golf. You'll absolutely love the experience, the food, the drinks, and just the fun, and having a great time with family, friends, co-workers. You'll love Top Golf of Birmingham. Driven by Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street up in Oxford, Anderson. Go by and check them all out at Sunny King Ford, Tony Russell, and all the great folks there. All right, guys, and Lars, I'll start with you. Let's talk Henry Ruggs and the situation now that's in with his life number 1, the life that was lost in this, and kind of where or what you're hearing not only from locally but also nationally about the situation right now with some of the guys that you know in the national media.
It gets us more difficult to comprehend what Henry Ruggs was thinking, and this is a really tough story. So the according to the police, and now he's former Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs. They released him yesterday. Early this morning, when it turns out that he was driving 156 miles an hour with a blood alcohol content twice Nevada's limit before his car slammed into the rear of a vehicle that burned, and that it killed a 23-year-old woman. And Ruggs had his initial court appearance this morning on felony charges of driving under the influence of alcohol, resulting in death, and reckless driving that could get him up to 26 years in state prison if convicted. Again, the Raiders released him late Tuesday, just hours after the crash. And prosecutors said that Ruggs was traveling 156 miles an hour 2 seconds before the crash, and was traveling at 127 miles per hour when the airbags deployed in his vehicle. And the judge noted that he couldn't recall speeds that high involved in the crash during his career on the bench. And Ruggs appeared with his attorneys, and he was not asked to enter a plea to the charges because there may be more charges involved. The name of the Las Vegas woman who passed away tragically in the wreck and burned with her dog in the car were not made public. And there was a passenger in Ruggs's car, and she suffered severe injuries to her arm. And police said that again, Ruggs's BAC, his blood alcohol level, was at 0.161, and the police said previously in a statement that Ruggs had showed quote signs of impairment unquote at the scene. Also, the prosecutor said that a loaded firearm was found on the floor of Ruggs's car. Ruggs's next court appearance is November 10, and there may be a weapons charge filed against Ruggs, and the prosecutor said he expects to file a second DUR charge against Ruggs based on, again, the arm injury suffered by the female passenger in Ruggs's car. And the thing is, probation is not an option in Nevada for a conviction on a charge of DUI causing death. Carries a possible sentences of 2 to 20 years in state prison. The possible sentence for reckless driving is 1 to 6 years in prison. So that means that Ruggs is looking at the possibility, if he was convicted and given maximum sentencing, 26 years in state prison. And, Matt, it's just I don't even know where to go with it. It's beyond tragic. It is just horrific judgment. And so right now, I'm surprised by this, frankly, that the prosecutors wanted a $1 million bail, but the judge set it at $150,000. So that means Ruggs is going to get out, or maybe he's already out, but with strict conditions, including home confinement, electric monitoring, no alcohol, no driving, and the surrendering of his passports. And I don't know, if there's much commentary to add to these raw facts that I just recited. But I'll go to you first, Matt, and then you, Jay, your reaction.
Well, it reads like he was going 156 miles per hour, saw the car, tried to brake, and that's why on impact, the airbags indicated he was going 126. So I guess he was trying to stop. That's the way it seems to me. Obviously, he was more than just a little impaired, twice the legal limit.
Why in the world are you going 156 miles an hour within the city limits of Las Vegas?
You got your brand new Corvette and you're 22 and you're just not thinking real well. And unfortunately, it has changed his life forever. But I guess if there's an importance factor here, woman was killed with her dog. You can't make up for that. You just can't make up for it. So poor judgment all the way around. As you just said, Raiders released him. And I don't know. I probably shouldn't guess about stuff like this. It reads to me like he'll do 10 plus years.
I think it'll be more than that. But Jay, your reaction.
Yeah, very, when I heard the news yesterday, I was like, okay, maybe it's a wreck or whatever. I mean, I kind of began to hear just rumblings and people sitting there, all of a sudden came out DUI, then the miles per hour, just like, man, gosh, and my kids started texting me and every one of them talked about one decision. One decision can change your life in a matter of seconds. And that's what happened for him. And I think Rudy Washington was what his girlfriend goes by. She was, a part of that as far as the being in the car with him. Sustained some bodily injuries, and so that, as you brought up, that's going to be part of probably some charges against Henry Ruggs. But man, I tell you, those decisions that you make, and when you make them, thinking through those type, and that's the thing about it too, especially with Henry or even just normal people now. I mean, you can, used to say, well, why would a celebrity or an athlete not just have a driver? Why would they not, hire a driver to come pick up their car, take them back to their house or whatever else? And we have that now. It's called Uber, and you have other services that you can use. And definitely at the level he's at, could have easily had a driver be with them in order to drive them to and from. And my understanding is they were out that night, went over to a friend's house after they'd been somewhere. And then, I guess after that left, and then this is when that occurred. So, the DUI, but the miles per hour, I mean, that's just, to know that you're not at a place where you should be, and that's behind the wheel, and then to be driving at that type of miles per hour. That my understanding, that's why the attorneys said that more than anything, because of that, that's why the death happened, because of the rate of speed. And that if that would not have been the case, so they were seeking what they called ultimate justice in this, and they're going to continue to pursue it. That's why I think Lars, as you brought up, the $1 million bond that they were wanting to set at first, and the judge made it $150,000. So it's a tough situation for all the, especially the family that lost the loved one, and I hate it for them to lost somebody like that so tragically. And my mom's mom got, they wasn't a DUI, but was hit. It was in a car crash when my mom was 13 years old, and just she was a nurse down at Princeton and got hit late at night by a truck driver that fell asleep behind the wheel, and that changed her life forever. And so, the person that died in this crash, I mean, their families, I'm not sure what, as far as kids or other people that she's left behind, but it'll definitely be a long lasting impact on all of them, and just praying for them. And, and that justice will be served in this as well. And it's a great lesson for not only a lot of people, but college age, pros, people just in regular life, that the choices you make can impact your life immediately in that moment. But we got to get to break. Let's take a break real quick. We'll come back. We'll get into Aaron Rodgers, COVID-19, also some more on the college football playoffs as far as the teams right now, where they're ranked, and what teams actually have a chance to get in, maybe with 2 losses. Is that we heard that from Reese earlier, Davis, when he was on Scott Van Pelt's show, kind of bringing up that particular topic. We'll dive into that. Maybe some of the teams out there that may be able to still get in if they had 2 losses. Who might that be? We'll let you know. Rock and Roll Sushi, they want to help you when it comes to really experiencing an amplified dining experience, the rolls, the music you love, rock and roll, and doing it with the people you love, your friends and family. Get out to Rock and Roll Sushi. New location down in Birmingham is 5th Avenue South and Richard Arrington Boulevard. And locations all throughout our listing area in Birmingham, I think about 5, and then all throughout our southeast is about 56. It is the fastest and biggest hit right now in the restaurant business. Check them out for lunch or dinner. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. All right, stay with us. We'll be back live from AVX.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-587-5063. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-587-5063 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-587-5063 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-587-5063.
Hey, Bama fans, before you head to the stadium to watch the Tide roll, stop by JD's Market and Spirits for all your tailgating needs for Bama football games. Located only 3 blocks from the stadium, JD's offers over 500 liquor items, 400 wine items, and a huge selection of craft, domestic, and imported beers. JD's also has hot dogs, snacks, ice, and game day supplies. Everything you need for tailgating. JD's Market and Spirits, 400 yards from Bryant-Denny Stadium on the west side. Call 722-2113.
You know what happens in a plasma chamber?
Big stuff. Science stuff.
Diamonds. I'm Tom Osmond. Fincher and Osmond, Joe Carroll's artisan-created diamonds.
Earth and human safe.
And bigger. Lots bigger.
Fincher and Osmond diamonds from the mines or artisan-created diamonds.
They're all diamonds.
If you want to give her the big stuff, you've got to see these diamonds.
FincherandOsmond.com, a little tricky to find on McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect you to doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is.
Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more at uhc.com. Plan benefits may vary.
That's a no-whip, high-foam, 170-degree, sugar-free gingerbread latte.
Ah, yes. It's gingerbread latte season at Duchesne's Coffee Shop. He'll need a seasonal barista before his cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether you just found it or lived there for years, you'll never forget that feeling. It was something that made you realize this house would become your home. And since there's no place like it, it deserves protection just as special. So talk to a real person, not a website. Call your Allstate agent, Andrew Kniffer, today at 205-722-9201 or find us on Facebook, Andrew Kniffer Agency. Once again, you can reach us at 205-722-9201. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Much colder today, mostly cloudy with a chance of some scattered light rain this afternoon and tonight. The high today 54, tonight's low 42. Tomorrow maybe a little light rain during the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 55 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
They have an excellent chance. And if you're a Sooners fan, I certainly would not panic because the selection committee ranking Baylor and Oklahoma State in the top 25 means that these Sooners have a chance to go on the road and get 2 top 25 wins. Plus, beating Iowa State is not going to be easy. They have a backloaded schedule. And if they finish as an undefeated Big 12 champ, I would be shocked if they were left out. And if they finish as a one-loss conference champ, I think they've got a really strong case still, depending on who that loss comes to, what it looks like, and obviously what everybody else does.
Paul, what else? You came on yesterday and said it's all about Cincinnati, Cincinnati, Cincinnati. I get it. We agree. We've covered that. What else? What else stood out to you last night, Paul Feinbaum?
Well, I think that they have maybe opened up a crack, not likely, but possible, that for Alabama, Robert, hate to say this, still get in the playoffs if they lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game. And one more thing, Robert, and I always refrain from doing this as I've matured through the years. I hate to correct a colleague on national television, but you made a serious mistake a minute ago. You mentioned that I was losing hair. Robert, I lost this hair before you were born.
Fair enough. Very quickly, Heather, you told us earlier you're going from Grapevine to Dallas today. I've got 30 seconds left. Tell everybody what it is that's going on there today, because this is a big day.
It is the 10 FBS commissioners and Notre Dame athletic director Jack Swarbrick are going to continue today and tomorrow to talk about the 12-team plan. Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner, says 4, 12, or bust. And it takes one person, one president, to not vote for it. And this thing is going to stay at 4. But I would be surprised if they have a plan, an agreement to present to presidents to vote on.
All right, welcome back in as we continue live from AVX. Matt Coulter, Lars Anderson, I'm Jay Barker, and you're listening to the Jay Barker Show. You're watching us live on YouTube, or if you're listening to us on YouTube as well, as some of you do, in your cars through the Bluetooth, you can subscribe and like what we're doing here on the show each and every day, and share it with others as well. And if you're listening on radio, we have a network throughout the state of Alabama and also down on the Gulf Coast. So we appreciate you listening in each and every day. All right, two lost teams. Can they get in? And as you heard some of the talking heads talking about the fact that Alabama, even if they lost to Georgia, I think that'd have to be a really close game and a really good game in that SEC title game for that to happen. And also I think some things are going to happen before we get to that point with some of the teams that are still undefeated that are behind Alabama right now. Again, the top 4 teams, Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State, and then Oregon. And then you get Ohio State, Cincinnati, Michigan, Oklahoma is at number 8, Wake Forest number 9, and number 10 is Notre Dame. Who would have thought Wake Forest would be inside the top 10 right now? Anybody predict that on this show? Nope, I don't think so. Matt, did you predict that?
Yeah, before I got here. And I picked.
Yeah, he never said it for the record.
No. I never said it, period. But I guess a 2-loss team can make it in there. And if a 2-loss team is going to make it in there, it would likely be Alabama. I will pose this scenario. if Auburn wins out, beats Alabama, beats Georgia,
They're in.
two loss.
Yeah. They'll be the first 2-loss team to make it in the playoffs. No question about it. Auburn controls their own destiny.
They are the highest ranked in the playoff rankings. They are the highest ranked 2-loss team. So we'll see how that works out. Eventually, a 2-loss team is going to get in there. I don't think there's any question there.
And, Georgia's sitting real pretty right now because they could lose the SEC championship game and still, in all likelihood, they'll still be in. And they deserve to be because they are head and shoulders, at least by the eye test, Jay. Georgia looks like the best team in the country right now. Now, that doesn't mean that Alabama and Ohio State and Oklahoma can't make significant jumps here over the next few weeks. But Georgia has to feel really good about where they are. Again, I don't like Cincinnati being at 6 because that means they are out. They have the worst. But then you sort of dig deeper into Cincinnati. The Bearcats have the worst strength of schedule, and it's 94th in the country of any team in the top 10. And strength of schedule simply matters to the committee. And so, and if the committee at this point in the first rankings, if they had put Cincinnati at 2, then they would have to have an explanation of why they would drop them out of the top 4 once they beat SMU and Houston and end up the season undefeated. So to me, this is a statement by the committee saying, Cincinnati, sorry,
thanks,
thanks, but it's a nice little story, but you are not going to be in the playoffs.
They're setting them up for the season because, as you just said, and it's worth repeating, if they put them 2, they would have to justify dropping them back out. Here, if things happen in front of them, you can move them up. People will be okay with that.
And apparently, I go to you, Jay, real quick after this. Apparently, there was not much discussion about putting Alabama number 2. Like, it was sort of unanimous that Alabama is the second best team in the country. Again, which I find a little surprising, just because last I thought that wins and losses should matter. And sure, yeah, Oklahoma. I'm surprised that they're at 8, but nonetheless, they're undefeated. And I know style points mean things, and they barely beat Kansas. They barely beat Tulane. They barely beat Nebraska. But nonetheless, they're undefeated. There's something that Alabama isn't. They're undefeated. Michigan State, they just beat the number 6 team in the country. They are undefeated, and yet Alabama's in front of them. So I guess, Jay, my question to you is it the Alabama reputation that has propelled them to number 2, or is it strictly, do you think, that there's no sort of SEC bias, there's no Alabama bias? Because if you get out of this state, trust me, people will tell you that there is this huge bias against Alabama. And I've gotten so many texts from friends all around the country, not just reporters and writers, but just buddies of mine saying, well, I guess losses don't count if you are Nick Saban.
Yeah, I think it helps to have Coach Saban number 1. I think that they've done it, 6 years? 6 times in the last 15 years he's been there. So I think that does help. I think in their minds going, hey, this team's going to get better as the year goes on. They did have the 1 loss. It was on the road, but the eye test, the talent, the 5 stars, all that I think plays in the mind of these guys that are ranking and making those choices of the top 4 teams and saying that they still think Alabama is one of the top 2 teams in the country. Again, and here's the thing, and Matt, I'll ask you this on the other side. We'll get into this. And Lars, you talked about Auburn getting in at 6-2, and where their record is 2 losses right now. If they stay 2 losses and 1 out, beat Alabama, who would be the number 2 team in the country if they won out till then, Georgia, the number 1 team in the country. So they'd be number 2, number 1, 2 losses. Does the Penn State loss hurt them, though, because Penn State's out of the top 25? nowhere to be found. 3 losses, and a team, it was on the road, and Auburn has improved since then. So again, the eye test comes back to that, is how's the team improved, and you can watch and see that on the field. So we'll get into that and much more coming up on the other side. Stay with us. We're live from AVX. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bmbroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle, no stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything, handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made and bunk beds, built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best lens in them. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to Siebel'sCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at Siebel'sCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.co. Letter C, letter O.
I'm not going to get into any of our coaches or players' vaccination status. I really don't know. I just know that he won't be available this week, and then we've got a great opponent we're going against, and then we'll address next week when we get there. It's a great challenge. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us, and we all have to prepare to the best of our ability to go down there and get a win. And that's the mindset. I mean, they're not going to postpone or cancel the game. We have game to play. It's the next man up mentality, and that's how we've operated for everybody. I think our guys will rally around Jordan. We've got a lot of confidence in him, and what a great opportunity for him to showcase what he can do.
That was talking about Aaron Rodgers. COVID-19 tested positive out against the Chiefs this weekend, and now they get their backup ready to play. It's next man up. But man, you talk about the loss of a guy like Aaron Rodgers. That's tough for the Packers, and now for them, it's getting their guy ready, Jordan ready, in order to be prepared mentally and physically. Getting the reps. Now, again, all the majority of the reps is normally he gets probably one or two per period. He'll get all the reps, and they'll get him ready to face off against a team that's had some really great sparks this year, but also has not been quite the Chiefs team I think everybody thought they were going to be. But Lars and Matt, is to throw it back to AVX. This is, again, we haven't seen a lot of this in the sports world, and especially some of the major, big names like this. Sitting out after a COVID positive. So I think a little bit of a shock or surprise, I'm sure, to a lot of the Green Bay Packer fans.
They also just flew in Blake Bortles as another quarterback because they're going to be down, obviously, Aaron Rodgers. The real big questions here are whether or not he has kept 10 days. If he has been vaccinated and tested positive, then he gets 2 tests in 24 hours. If he tests negative, he can play. But nobody seems to really want to come out and say whether or not he has had the vaccine. When asked about it, Rodgers said he has been immunized. Well, is that dancing around it?
Yeah, that's
and then now they say he wears the mask and follows protocol around the complex. Yet when he does interviews, he doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah. So okay, yes. You just hit the proverbial nail on the head here. Aaron Rodgers was very cagey when he used the term immunized in August, and he vowed not to judge people who either were vaccinated or not vaccinated, but he said immunized. He did not use the word vaccinated. And then this is according to Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk, who is usually spot on with these things, that a GM told Florio a few weeks ago that Rodgers was, in fact, not vaccinated. And then you go back and you look at photos from Rodgers from the preseason, and he's standing on the sideline in street clothes, and he's not wearing a mask. And that everybody thought, because he wasn't wearing a mask, that he was indeed vaccinated. But in actuality, it means that if in fact he was not vaccinated, and it appears that he was not, and that's why he's going through this 10-day protocol rather than what Nick Saban did, who was vaccinated, and you get 2 negative tests within 24, 48 hours, you can get back and be with the team. But what it could eventually mean is that Rodgers was deliberately and flagrantly violating COVID policies to create the impression that he was vaccinated. And Rodgers was smart, and I don't. This story might have some legs.
Matt, your take on it real quick, and then I'll give you mine. Because first of all, the HIPAA law, HIPAA rules. What if it was a coach or trainer that told somebody else about his, whether vaccinated or not, that could be some real issues there. That's not supposed to be discussed about other people's medical issues or things that are going on. That would be between if he wanted to give up that information or not. So I'm very surprised that they even came out and quoted that.
Here's a good quote, and I'm a big Matt LaFleur fan, and not just because he's the coach of my Packers. I think he's a pretty cool guy. I think he gets it. When asked about Rodgers' use of the word immunized? He said, that's a great question for Aaron. I'm not going to comment on that. At that point,
good for him.
Boom. Jay, back, this could
He's
go
not
into a
supporting
deep
his
dive
quarterback.
into vaccinations and immunizations, but man, we'd need 3 hours, and all three of our opinions probably differ. So I'm with Matt LaFleur on this. I'm not going to comment.
Yeah, just put it back on him, which it should be put back on him. Any questions you have about that should be to Aaron Rodgers. He's the one that needs to discuss that.
Absolutely.
And
and he can't really, because you just mentioned because of the HIPAA law.
Right.
The HIPAA law prevents him from saying anything.
I'm really surprised that they were quoted. Somebody said they told another person about something dealing with his medical history or things that have happened. But it's crazy. There's so much in all this that's so rich. So we'll just say that he'll be out, and we'll find out kind of what's going to be happening over the next few days if there are some tests that are done. And this is the protocol that he has to go through right now. So we'll see. But I think it's his personally, and y'all know this from my standpoint, his choice, what he wants to do, and everybody's choice of what they want to do with this. And because we see that it's not 100% effective, and definitely the mask are not 100% effective. That's scientifically been proven since last May. So that's my take on it. All right. Going
you
back,
want to talk about this baseball?
Can I say one more thing?
No.
All right. Robert Klemko, good buddy of mine. We were colleagues at Sports Illustrated. He tweeted out, "If I was a reporter who caught COVID after an Aaron Rodgers press conference, please believe everybody from number 12 to Goodell is getting sued."
Well,
is that extreme?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But guys, we have gone down this rabbit hole.
All right. We'll stop.
I want to talk about something
Mm-hmm.
fun and interesting, and that's what happened. The Jorge Soler's home run, 446, left the stadium, went over the Minute Maid railroad track that circles the rim of that wonderful facility, landed in a parking lot. Now, above the stadium, there's a guy in his apartment, and he's watching on TV, but he can kind of watch it down when the roof is open. He's watching it. Oh, no, he's probably not pulling for the. But then he looks down beneath him, and he sees a baseball in the road. And he goes, wow. Took him 8 minutes, got on the elevator, went down there with his girlfriend, said, I'm going to get that ball. Well, come to find out, it was a secured area. So he tried to go up to the security guards and say, could I please just walk in there? You can walk with me. But then they started a conversation with his girlfriend. He slipped behind her, picked up the baseball. Other people were approaching him. He put it up under his sweatshirt, walked back to his apartment.
That's awesome. How much do you think that ball's worth?
Wow.
They were saying $1 million.
Really?
He's got $1 million that's laying in the street. Yeah. That's a crazy story.
So you
That
don't
is
think
crazy.
he's gonna
No doubt about it.
do? You don't think he's gonna do what after Tom Brady threw that touchdown pass and the fan just gave it back to Tom after Mike Evans threw it in the stands?
He lives in Houston. He's gonna sell it. He's not gonna go, hey, all right. No, likely he was an Astros fan if he lives above the stadium. Anyway.
Shut up
Jay,
and take my
us out.
money.
Well, he better watch out. If his girlfriend knows he's got it, she might slip it out and be gone. She knows where the ball is being hidden, I guess. All right, we'll wrap up hour number 2 coming up on the other side on this Wednesday edition. Our thanks again to Gary Danielson joining us in the first hour. If you missed it, you can go back on our YouTube channel, BamaInsider.com. Go to BamaInsider when you go to search on YouTube, and we're there live noon to 2 each and every day. But just search Alabama football, BamaInsider. You'll find us. Like and subscribe and share. And we love that, and we love the fact that you're listening in each and every day. All right, we'll wrap up hour number 2 coming up next. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
You're ready to get out and get moving. And whether it's surfing, playing tennis, or hiking every path you can find, you're going to need some essential new gear. Essentials that are even more rewarding with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card. You can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. The essentials have never felt more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Open enrollment for healthcare.gov is here. If you're uninsured or have a job that doesn't offer insurance, check out healthcare.gov. Due to a new law, prices are lower and more people qualify. Now, 4 out of 5 customers pay just $10 a month or less with financial help. It's easier than ever to find the right plan for you, and millions of Americans, just like you, have already enrolled. New law, lower prices. More people qualify. Sign up at healthcare.gov by December 15th.
Everything is better at Benton Nissan. At Benton Nissan of Bessemer and Benton Nissan of Hoover, you get an even bigger selection. We have more than 400 used cars on the ground. Don't pay above sticker for new cars when we have like new used cars waiting for you. Drive a little, save a lot at Benton Nissan of Bessemer, 5487 Academy Way, and Benton Nissan of Hoover, 1640 Montgomery Highway. Benton Nissan, your friend in the car business. For qualified customers, see dealer for details. Everything is better at Benton Nissan.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easy.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Dell's Black Friday event has arrived, and it's the perfect time to step up your creativity. With early access savings up to $300 off PCs, it's Dell's biggest sale of the year. Get more into what you're into with the latest XPS and Alienware systems featuring Intel Core processors. Save on top monitors, docks, and accessories, all with free shipping, plus great financing from Dell Preferred Account. Call 800-BY-DELL for Black Friday deals. That's 800-BY-DELL.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Much colder today, mostly cloudy with a chance of some scattered light rain this afternoon and tonight. The high today 54, tonight's low 42. Tomorrow maybe a little light rain during the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 55 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Welcome back in as we wrap up hour number 2. I want to remind you about Local Realty, one of our great sponsors, Jeremy and Gina Miller, and great family and just a great team of people that help you when it comes to not only selling your home, but saving you a ton of money, thousands of dollars. They do what's called a flat fee, $2,900 flat fee to sell your home up to a $500,000 listing. That's going to save you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars when it comes to your cost of selling your home, actually be making more money. It's your equity anyway. They realize that. They said, look, you built the money up. It's your equity. You should get the most out of that on the sell side, and that's what they do at Local Realty. Go to localrealtyflatfee.com. That's localrealtyflatfee.com to find out more information about Local Realty. We've had a lot to get into today. Gary Danielson earlier, really good talk with him, interview. If you missed that, it'll be our YouTube, again, channel that will be there forever pretty much. Also, you can go back and podcast it at our flagship station, Tide 100.9 FM out of Tuscaloosa, and where you can hear that interview with Gary Danielson. We'll try to throw some of that out there on social media as well for you this afternoon. Lars, we look at all the storylines, big one in the state, for Alabama is LSU, Alabama. Talk about, just because you've had a chance to write about the Crimson Tide and the times where they've been playing LSU and Coach Saban, coaching there and just all that, in chasing the bear, what that game means to the Alabama nation, what it's meant over the years with championship teams and competing for that SEC West. Where do you see this rivalry right now? I mean, is this still the same type of matchup that we had there for so many years?
Acts a little bit of luster this year just because LSU is down and Ed Orgeron is on his way out. But, man, you never know with this LSU team that they could rise up because this is, as you've said so many times, when a team plays Alabama and they're most likely not going to go to a bowl game, yet they're very talented, this is the equivalent of their Super Bowl. And they are going to be very aggressive, going to be wanting to go for it on fourth down multiple times and take chances, trick plays. And it's a dangerous team because we know how talented LSU is. You go back and you look at the recruiting rankings over the last 5 years. And, we've talked about this a lot, Jay. There's a correlation between recruiting rankings and then how a team finishes 3 years later. And LSU has consistently been in the top 10. So they have the talent. For whatever reason, it hasn't gelled this year under Orgeron. But even though Alabama, yes, they're a 4-touchdown favorite, which seems absurd to me.
It's crazy.
28.5 points, I think. But yes, I think Alabama is obviously going to win this game. But I think LSU is dangerous. I really do.
Well, and again, you brought it up as far as the talent, and then so it's about matchups, right? One-on-ones type stuff. And if you've got the guys who have the ability, the key is, how do they focus in this week in practice? Do they stay focused because of what they know is coming at the end of the year? Jake Peets, who's the coordinator, he was with Joe Brady with the Carolina Panthers. He was Alabama for a while as well, an analyst, and worked under Sarkisian and, really, I think Loxley, he was there with him as well. And, learned a lot of different styles and ways to scheme a defense and to try to figure out how to go against them. And he was around that, the Alabama program and around that defense and saw what they did and what Nick Saban was trying to accomplish and the things that maybe hurt them in whether it be in the passing game or running game or misdirection, those type of things that you kind of learn and see as you're part of a program that, you kind of learn the, I don't say the inside ingredients, but you learn the things that are things that can really hurt your defense or the way that you're playing it. So, yeah, I mean, look, 28.5 points seems like, that's to me a ton. That's going to be a huge motivating factor in itself for LSU in this game. But hopefully it's going to be a fun night. 6 p.m. kickoff, and those night games, especially against LSU or these big teams, is always fun there in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
So, Jay, I think LSU's next head coach is going to be Mel Tucker, current head coach at Michigan State. That's my early thought. What's your early thought on who LSU's next head coach is going to be?
I mean, he fits all the checks all the boxes as far as what they're wanting, and a guy that can recruit, a guy that's handled the transfer portal as well as anybody. His time with Coach Saban, who said that was the greatest thing for him as a coach. So, yeah, I mean, he's right there. I don't know yet. We'll just kind of continue to watch and see. I always thought Lane Kiffin might be in the mix of that as well, but we'll see. Hey, look, everybody, have a great Wednesday, and thank you for joining us on BamaInsider YouTube, and continue to see us there. And again, you can go back and watch the entire show throughout the day and also throughout our radio network, our flagship station, Tide 100.9. Josh Smith, our producer. Have a great day.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store.